Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be playing another game of League of Legends at the Platinum 5 ranked support game. Or at the Platinum 5 ranked support level, if I can get my language right today. And I am the strategy professor. Let's go ahead and get in there. So, we're just coming off of a major losing streak. So, we won our last two games after we kind of just reflected and thought a little bit more carefully about our strategy, but we're still down. Overall, we've lost, I don't remember the exact number. I can go ahead and look here, let me see. Now, some of those are normals. But I think before we won these last two games, we had lost 6 of 7 ranks or something. And we're currently losing about 20 LP, and we're only gaining 16, and I'm not quite sure why that is. I think it's because I took such a long break. And I've just been seeing very, very weird things in all of my games. Like we had a few games ago, I had a Katarina jungle and just some other really unorthodox challenging picks. But the common denominator in all of these, you have to remember this when you're on a loss streak, the common denominator in every game is you. So, go ahead and get out of this. I'll just Swain. I'm really tempted to ban Sivir also, but I'll just ban Swain. So the common denominator is always you, so you have to figure out how can you impact and win the game. And what I've decided is I need to just be more vocal about what needs to happen to win the game. So I need to tell people, hey, let's group up, or just ping back like, hey, let's not try to siege this tower, we're too low. Just make calls like that, especially backing up. People don't understand that. Like, they just want to try to be cool and make the play with 10% health. That's a real problem, even at platinum level. Like my last game, and they're laughing at me because I was pinging like, hey, we need to back up, hey, let's not do that, and they're just like, LOL, I like to live on the edge. And we were winning by a lot, and they almost came back and won because everybody was spread out. Look, we had our jungler doing like on the other side of the map doing the enemy Gromp camp, and we were sieging top. We were on red side, I believe. Either way, they were just not grouping up at all, and the other team was grouping up, and they were catching us, and I was trying to ping people back, but they just wouldn't back. And sometimes it's like pulling teeth to try to get people together to win the game, but that's just what you have to do. You just have to constantly just be vocal, direct people, like, don't be too forceful, don't be rude, but just tell people, hey, we should back up, and just give them a quick explanation. Just say, we're too low for that, or can we group up? Or if someone's trying to split, this is another very common mistake. People split push without any pressure anywhere else on the map, so then they can have 3 people hunt them down and kill them, and then the common response is, geez guys, why don't you pressure something else? When in fact it just may not be safe to do that, or people may have just backed, like they're just not paying attention. Just pinging people back and just saying, be careful, we don't have pressure anywhere else on the map. So that's what I need to do. You can't just assume that people know what to do or how to play. So you don't want to be pinging, every 10 seconds something, but just be a lot more proactive in vocalizing and pinging things. Ping MIAs, just look at mid. If mid's missing, ping MIA for mid. Just have vision and just communicate with your team a lot more. I think that's because almost every game that I've played,
call me demon. Water forgets the name.
Almost every game that I've played, in fact, I think every single game that I can remember for a while, we're winning. We are winning in the first 15 minutes, usually by quite a large margin. I mean, most of these losses, I start the game with some kind of stat line like 3-1 and 14 or something like that. So it's not like we're getting completely trashed in most of the games. It's just making those throws in the mid game, and you really can't lose those games. Like the games that you're winning, you have to win, because there will come games where just every lane loses. and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, that's going to be 20-30% of your games. It's just every lane loses, and it's really hard to handle. Not every game is winnable. Not in solo queue. Okay, I think I like all this. Yeah, we went to MR. So you need to make sure you close out the games that are close, because most games will be close, but there's some that you really like to just stomp your way through, and there's others that there's just no way you're winning. So you really need to win the ones that are close. You can't afford throws if you're trying to gain elo. And I've decided I'm playing Tahm Kench a lot too, if you didn't watch the last video, and the reason for that is statistically he's my highest win rate champion. I'm about 55% with him. That has a significant number of games. I mean, I'm 100% with Malphite, but I only have 3 games with him, and there's a few other ones that I have a high percentage but low games with. I don't really think the stats matter that much unless you have 50 to 100 games at least, just to kind of normalize. It's like I said with Tahm, I mean, when I was playing with that one guy early on, as I've said, a gen player, we worked really well together, and I got up to like 90% with Tahm, and I stayed in the high 70s for quite a long time, and now I'm back down to 55. But 55 is still good. It's better than a lot of my other champs. I mean, most of them are around somewhere between 50 to 55, but he is definitely my statistically the best one. Also, he bails people out. So when people have bad positioning, he saves them better than any other champion in the game. And that's really how I lose games most of the time, is other people are in bad positions. So I tried some games with Thresh, and people just won't click on the lantern. They just won't do it. And so you can't save them if they won't click. Thresh can be good at saving if people know what's going on, but it requires them to make that click. With Tahm Kench, they don't have a choice. I eat them, we get out. I mean, they can spit themselves out in a stupid position. That happens quite frequently. But at least you can save them. And Tahm Kench is instant. Just about. You have to be closer, which is more dangerous, but I like Tahm Kench. Also, he has decent damage just strictly off of his health scaling. Like when you eat people, it does a lot of max damage, so he's really good at breaking tanks too later in the game. This is 30, yeah, it's 20% of their max health, and it just goes up as you scale up, so it's quite a lot of damage. More of this. So they have a Kog'Maw mid, I think?
Has a delectable taste.
30 seconds until minions.
But anyways, let's see. I'll get this first. Just let him know. And it is a very, very large spike. Is he gonna put a ward there? Nice, smart man. I like this. Yeah, Tahm Kench just bails people out. He has pretty good peel. He has lots of versatility with his items. He can get a Frozen Fist and be quite good at peeling some of these tanks. He's good versus assassins. Like, his only drawback is he doesn't exert a ton of lane pressure early on. But he can fight. I mean, if you all in, if there's a jungler that comes in, like, he can fight well. He just doesn't have the same kind of harass and hard lock CC that something like an Alistar or a Nami has. So your kill threat is a little bit less, but... Okay, so he wasted his ability. I told him I was going to eat it, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, I like him. You're giving up a little bit of kill pressure by not playing Nami, but he's just very safe for other people. If you position correctly and make good decisions, like, he's hard to play. Don't mistake it. He's hard to play. I mean, I know sometimes people think that he's mindless because he just, like, eats and saves people, but there's quite a lot of decision making with him, and it's real easy to be bad with Tahm Kench. So they're definitely going to try to all in this gen, but we just can't, I can't push up early on. That's fine. Alright, now I can start putting a little more pressure on. It's going to be hard to break through Leona. Also, Leona's becoming a lot more in vogue lately, which means that Nami's a lot weaker. I had liked Nami for a while. Like, I thought the coin adjustment and some other things, like the Alistar nurse, would make her a lot better, and she still is good, but she just doesn't have the same kind of safety that something like Tahm Kench has. Okay, Malphite's being smart. Yeah, if it wasn't Leona, it was going to be somebody like Lee Sin. He needs to back. Okay, he got out. I assume he probably flashed. You can't be that far up in the lane that early. Okay, there she is. I guess she was just AFK or something. I don't really know. I mean, Jhin outscales Jinx, so I just can't get good angles for tongues. And the thing is, I don't want to get engaged on. I don't mind if they engage Jhin, that's fine, I can just eat it. Nice. So she got a little close, a little dangerous. Can he get her? Okay, got her. So I kind of wanted to flash there, but I knew one of them would probably flash for it, so I didn't want to double flash. Okay, good. Jhin got 2 kills. Tahm has decent, not awesome, but decent clear with his W also. Yeah, this is not going to go all the way in, but that's fine. Okay, so we just want health. Tahm also scales the best with the health item. Do I want a pink or do I want a fairy charm?
An enemy has been slain.
I think I want pinks. Oh, I can get both. Let me get both. Fairy charm seems odd, but it just gives me a lot more pressure early. And it effectively just costs 40 gold, because you can sell it back for 88 and it costs 120, I think. So even less, like 32 gold. He's probably going to die. But he might make it if he can dodge this Q. Oh wow, Lee Sin chickened out. Okay. I've never known a Lee Sin to chicken out like that. If anything, most Lee Sins that I see are hyper aggressive. What do we have? BF? What is he? Just a Doran's. Wow. He didn't buy anything. So we are in an extreme power spike right now. She didn't even get a pick. So we should be able to zone him off pretty hard. We know Lee's top side.
All the world's a river. I'm its king.
I don't want to hit it too far because I want to zone. Also, Tahm has a lot of threats, so even if I miss my tongue, we can still fight. Like, it's not great, but I can still fight. I need to make sure that they don't engage on him. So I'm gonna go ahead and push this in. That's a big danger too, a support you want to watch out for. Like, you don't want to go clear ward or go ward when they could engage on your ADC. No, I'm not gonna be able to get him. He's got red. There's probably a way that I could have played that better, but I could have almost eaten him, but he was just flying around so much and I couldn't get the tongue stick for the stun. Zach should have just run out after we got the first kills, but that's okay, it's whatever. Alright, pinks. Let's do this. Oh, and I want to sweep her. I still think that Malphite should be able to crush Yasuo. Can I rotate over there?
I have tastes that aren't easily pacified.
Dang it. Alright. So we just roam and just making plays. It was a little on the dangerous side, but it ended up being worth it. I'm really happy that Jin followed all the way up there. I didn't think he'd come. But that's just ping and just letting him know where I'm going, what I'm doing. What do I want now? Yasuo is pretty strong. Everyone else is pretty weak. I think I might go for a ZZ here just for more pressure. This Malphite doesn't exert a lot of pressure. This will give me a little bit of MR. A little bit of armor. Alternatively, I could go Frozen Heart. They don't really have a lot of auto attackers. I mean, jeez. Does he have flash? No, he doesn't have flash. He's done. So I should have pinged back. I mean, he shouldn't be that far in the lane when I'm not there. But I could have pinged back. I'm gonna back up. It's worth a try. Whatever, I'll just freeze it right here. So I should have pinged him a little bit faster and we could have maybe made the play. I should have pinged him faster and made it. I mean, we could have killed him.
appetite focused.
I see there's a pink here. I need to go ahead and just kill this.
That's what I covet.
This Leona's roaming a lot.
Every heart has its own hunger.
Jinx can 1v, or Jin should be able to 1v her pretty easily.
Born, famished, and starving.
And I'll see if I can get some wards. It's a little bit dangerous. I'm just gonna try to get a ward up right here. Yeah, I thought so.
Delectable taste.
I'm just gonna have to trade towers here. He also is gonna get top. Need to get here quick.
Has been slain.
Nice.
Everyone ends downriver.
Ah.
Eventually.
Okay, so who has kills? Still just Yasuo. I actually need boots because the map's opening up quite a lot. I want Swifties because I need to be able to run in combat.
Your team has destroyed.
There we go, nice. That's a great item.
Is impossible.
So it gives me speed, gives me tankiness, it's everything I want.
True appetite never
Except for health. I mean, it doesn't give me health, but... Okay, so good start as usual. We just have to make sure we finish this off. That means I need to get wards. I need to direct people.
savor the misery. From suffering,
This is dangerous.
a banquet is born. We all gourmandize from time to time.
That's very dangerous. This is probably warded.
Anything of them is deceitful. Also drowned in my magnificence.
Okay, there he is.
I refuse to succumb to voluntary degradation.
Yeah, so because we saw Lee, we could get a little more aggressive.
Let us eat voraciously and overindulge.
They're probably going to go and try to gank Heimer. They might try to gank us too, but that's okay. I can get us out. I'm pretty fast.
I have tastes that aren't easily pacified.
So I just want to Oh my gosh.
No true hunger can be.
Okay, so I do need to get a locket after. I still like this easy just to close out the game. So I saw that Zach might want to dive. Maybe he doesn't. You know, maybe he's a smart player and doesn't want to dive. But I just want to anticipate. What if this guy wants to dive? Like, I just want to ping him back and just let him know, hey, we probably shouldn't do that. How close am I? 780? I think I can sell these. Get it? I want it. I really want to be able to start putting that ZZ down and getting that pressure. I still do have my pink on the board, so I still do have a pink. They don't have anything that can go invisible that's important, so they don't have like a Vayne or something like that, or a Collie. It's gonna be 1-for-1. Well, never mind. He's just suiciding. Okay, he got her. No, he's dead. Let's just get these towers. Yeah. No, I'm out of here. Okay, so I just need to ward their area. I want to stay with him so we can get out of here because they're going to collapse on us. I think we get it. Okay, we don't want to fight, we want to wait.
True appetite never wins.
Okay, so if they just want to play around with Dragon, we'll take their tier 2, that's fine. Heimer can maybe stall him. We're gonna be a little late here, but I think it'll still be worth it. I'm not really sure. Sure, Baron. Because they're going to be up in their base. This is one time, and I think you can do Baron, it's okay. Because they're going to be able to defend their base in time, but I don't think they get Baron in time. We also have Heimer, who has a lot of pressure on objectives. No. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got him. Jeez. Okay, so probably not worth it. My gosh. That was scary. Alright, so I definitely want this now. A couple of pinks. And whatever, we'll get another charm just because we have an empty slot. Once again, it's just 40 gold anytime you want to do that.
The only real sin is to deny
I don't really care if he also wants to get a tier 1, it's fine.
Everyone ends downriver.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Oh my gosh, we're getting cocky. Are we gonna win? Yes, but you shouldn't do that. Like, 2 towers for 1 inhibitor is probably not worth it, but...
An enemy has been slain.
Tahm ult just lets you rotate and get places that you need to be at. Okay, so once again, Tahm saves the day. Someone's out of position. Save him. Alright.
My diet is expansively unique. Now we shall realize.
So we got 2 inhibitors with Baron. That's how you use a Baron buff right there. And you notice how I was using my ult for rotations. Just to get from one objective to the next. Don't be afraid to do that. Just use it. I mean, it's nothing really to ward. I mean, the side's here, but we're not here yet, so... Just need to make sure they don't kill Jhin. That's the only thing that needs to happen here. They don't kill Jhin. Or Heimer, whoever gets caught.
I refuse to succumb to their degradation.
Excuse me. Yeah, we just go up here and end the game. It's a sweet game. So this one kind of ended up looking like a stomp, but there were lots of moments where just like, I think I was able to make some good decisions on when to rotate with the ult, when to follow things. when to follow people, when to back up. Like, I think I made a lot of really good calls in that one. And I think people were actually kind of following up and kind of knew what was going on. So that was really cool. I was pretty impressed with that Jhin. He actually rotated up. He was making some good rotations. He did stay in lane and get caught and died a couple of times, so that wasn't great. But overall, pretty happy with this team. They followed up. They did well. Not a ton to say there. I mean, there weren't a lot of really bad players on the other team, though. I think it was still competitive. I mean, Leona's score looks really bad, but realistically, that's just how Leona works. Like, she's all in. So if you go in and your team's behind, you're going to die a lot. So she kept trying to engage and get the Jhin, and I just kept saving him. And then when she goes all in, she's basically going to die. So that was that. I mean, she should have stayed back and peeled probably, but I'm not sure who you... I mean, she should have peeled for probably Kog'Maw. Just use her abilities to peel. That's one of the reasons I don't like playing Leona that much. Like, she's great if you have a really aggressive lane and you can actually get kills. But she's bad if the jungler camps you or if your team just overall falls behind. And remember that if you're solo queuing, you're probably... and you've been at an elo for quite a long time, you're probably going to be behind in about half of your games. Like, you can make comebacks and win, but just keep in mind that statistically, if you've been at an elo for a long time, for hundreds of games, you're probably going to be behind half of your games. Because if you're at an elo, that probably means that's about where your skill is right now. I mean, if you think about it, statistically over hundreds of games, if you're at the same, roughly the same elo, that's where you belong at that moment. So yeah, I mean, I belong in Plat 4, Plat 5, right, for now. But I was Plat 1 earlier, so there's a large fluctuation. I just have to figure out what I was doing to get to Plat 1. And yes, I was dueling with, you know, a guy who was pretty good for a lot of that. But I dueled with some other people too. But I think I can do it solo queue. Like, I don't think you have to duo to gain elo as support. As I've said before, you just have to make the right calls, make the right rotations, and just choose the correct champion for your composition. And I think Tahm just works in most comps. I mean, the worst thing for Tahm is like poke, like heavy pressure poke. And he doesn't have good wave clear, so he's bad against poke. But they've recently nerfed Nidalee. She's fallen out of vogue. Bard has fallen out of vogue. I'm not quite sure why, if they nerfed him or people just don't pick him or what. People aren't picking Nami that much. I thought people would pick more Nami. They're not. So most people are still picking tank champions, and that's what, for support, and that's what Tahm's really, really good at. Taking down. So he's good at assassins and he's good at tanks, because he saves people from assassins and he has a lot of health. So really his only, like, one of his only strategic weaknesses is poke. He's not great against poke champions, but it's really hard to play poke in solo queue. It's really hard to execute it, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. It's really not that great most of the time. It requires a lot of disengage, and most teams just aren't that good at disengaging. They just want to go in and fight. So I think Tahm is just good for the meta based on champions that are getting picked, as I've said before, and because he saves people that get caught. So, and sometimes it's not even their fault. Like, you know, Lee Sin hits a Q on somebody, comes over, he's going to hit Jhin. Well, I save him. Or Leona uses her ult, gets Jhin because he's immobile. I mean, you'd have to flash to dodge her ult. Save him. So he just helps a lot of people. He just cancels all CC as long as it doesn't hit you. He's just awesome. I love Tahm Kench. But he does have like a 46% win rate, so most people aren't good with him. So practice him up. Keep watching these videos if you want to learn how to play him correctly. I highly recommend it. He is a ton of fun. I love him as a character. I'm from the South, so I love his southern draw, the South in the United States. Tennessee, more specifically. I think Tahm is more kind of Louisiana, but it's... I like his southern twang that he has going on. And he's just fun thematically, and he's fun. He's really fun to play. But the problem where people misuse him is they'll just go into situations they shouldn't go into where you're going to die. Or they will make the wrong choice between eating allies and eating opponents, which can be important. So there's lots of play with him. Or they'll try to warp behind him and not have proper vision and die. So there's lots, or they just won't hit the E, like he'll be posting up your shield and they just won't hit the E fast enough. There's lots of ways to mess up Tahm Kench, but that's what makes him rewarding and fun to play. I think he's probably I would say he's the second most challenging support to play next to Thresh. I think Thresh still has the highest skill cap of any support, mainstream support, but I think Tahm is second. I'm running through my mind. I can't think of anything that's harder to play than Tahm. I mean, Lulu can be hard to play because there's just so many different options, once again, that you can do with her abilities. Yeah, I think Tahm's probably the most challenging support to play correctly, and I think the statistics bear that out. If you look, most of the time, the really hard mechanical champions, especially the ones that aren't like overpowered right now, are the ones that have the lowest win rate. So you've got Tahm Kench, and then you've got Lee Sin down there. I think Yasuo is probably down there somewhere. Every time I see Yasuo in a game, he loses. Like, it doesn't matter how he starts, he just ends up losing the game. And that's sad because he's a really fun champion. But he's just not in a good place right now. Not good in the meta. And why would you get this on Yasuo? Like, people don't know how to build him. They don't know how to, like, just play him right. Like, I'm not a Yasuo expert, but I think you want crit on Yasuo, right? I mean, he has, like, bonuses to crit or something like that. So static is very common, but I think you go, like, Infinity Edge or something after that. Like, you want crit items. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. I really like Tahm Kench. I think we're in a good position to keep climbing. We just have to, we just have to stay positive. We've won 3 in a row. We just lost 3 in a row before that. So sometimes it just comes in waves. Sometimes there's just not a lot you can do. But what you can do every episode is try to learn, try to figure out how you can play better. And I think it definitely paid off. We made a lot of good calls and a lot of good decisions this game. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, as I say at the end of all episodes. Don't forget that the subscription really helps build the community of this channel. So it doesn't just show your support, which I greatly appreciate, but it helps other people find the channel through YouTube searches and helps bring them the same kind of entertainment, joy, learning that you get from this channel. And it just takes one click, and it keeps you up to date for when I am releasing new videos. And I will be rolling out some educational videos soon. I keep saying that, but we'll definitely roll those out very soon. It's going to be content such as how you can write better research papers, get A's in your humanities classes, structure your essays better, think critically about a variety of topics and approaches to the classroom and to your professional life, how to write better cover letters, how to deal with difficult situations at work. It's going to involve a lot of strategic thinking to make your life better, not only in video games, League of Legends, Total War, but also in your academic and professional lives. So stay tuned for that. It's coming out very soon, and other people would also like to see that content. They just probably won't know I exist for a while because I've only been around for about a month in this channel, and so it just helps out a ton if you could just help get the word out. Tell your friends, anyone who plays League or plays Total War Warhammer or just wants to get better grades, just let them know about this channel, because we have lots of exciting content coming out soon. And subscriptions help spread the word as well. So anything you can do to help me out, I greatly appreciate it, and I promise I will keep giving you high quality content. Hopefully we can get to Diamond this season. We'll see. I've been close. Like I said, I was Platinum 1 a couple of months ago, and then I took a break for a little bit when I had a little bit of a fall. But I think my mind, I'm refreshed. I think broadcasting actually helps me make better plays, make better decisions, because I have to verbalize my thought process, which seems to help out a ton. So I think we're going to see some rewards for that. Hopefully we're going to see some payout. We're going to start gaining a lot of ELO. And I hope you guys do too, from watching this, listening to people walk through these decisions. I hope you gain a lot of ELO too. So, all right, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next episode. Have a wonderful evening.